Okay, on to our main event topic of the week and our first album review in many weeks. I think the last one we reviewed was it Billie Eilish or Willie Nelson? It was one of them. I forget, but
I think Billie Eilish.
I think anyway we will be reviewing the Death of Slim Shady by the one and only Eminem. And I will start the review. I want to kind of talk a little bit about the concept behind this album because one thing I am a huge fan of is concept albums. I like songs that go together, like Peanut Butter and Jelly, and this album is, by and large, it is a concept album. And the concept of the album is essentially Slim Shady is trying to cancel Eminem. And so, if I'm reading this correctly and listening correctly, and essentially what's really funny about this album is Slim Shady is essentially attacking everything that conservatives love, and Eminem is attacking essentially everything that liberals love, or vice versa. I'm sorry, it's actually the other way
It's
around.
vice versa.
Yeah, it's vice versa. Slim Shady is attacking the liberal side, and Eminem is attacking the conservative side. But essentially, Eminem has to kill Slim Shady because Slim Shady has come back from the dead from 2002. And the way we're going to do this album, because we don't want to talk about every single song, because I think there's 16 songs on this album, and that would take some time. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the 3 singles that have been released from the album in order of their release, and then each of us will tell the listeners and viewers 2 of our favorite songs from the record. Now, mind you, our favorite songs might line up with each other. I don't know. None of us have talked beforehand about what our favorites are. So we will start with Houdini. Houdini was and is the first single from this record. It comes with a video, which, by the way, the video is dope as. I love the video. Absolutely
I
love
love
the
the
video.
video.
Um, and this song right here basically shows 2024 Eminem trying to save the entire world from 2002 Slim Shady, who has somehow showed up in the present time through a time warp. And number one, I absolutely love the abracadabra beat to this song. I loved that song when I was a kid, and I love it in this song as well. The video does a great job, in my opinion, of bringing the concept of the song to life. And honestly, is there anyone within this song that Eminem has not tried to offend?
I don't think so. But I mean, that's Eminem in a nutshell.
So I love Houdini, even though there there are some things in it that I don't agree with. But I think that is the point of the song. Slim Shady is trying to trigger people, and Eminem is trying to save us from his alter ego. Toby, what do you got for Houdini?
I think it's a very good introduction to that album.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the right choice to put out first.
I agree.
Um, I think the only one that would have been better was Guilty Conscience too, but that's just because I'm partial to the Slim Shady LP. But
Right.
um, just Houdini overall is an excellent song, and
Yeah, I like it.
I've seen people call it edgy, and I feel like the people who called it edgy probably listened to, I don't know, Lil Uzi or something.
Wow. Toby went there. I,
I mean,
again, I don't like some of the lyrics of the song, but as a listener, I also understand why I don't. That was the point. The point was to get certain people riled up, and artistically, it was kind of smart, to be honest, because as soon as the song came out, everybody was talking about it. Literally, everybody was talking about the song, and the abracadabra beat just makes it so freaking catchy. Like you're gonna be, yeah, abra abra. Like you're just gonna be.
that's been stuck in my head all day. So
So my last,
It's an earworm, 100%. Um,
I have loved Eminem since I was like in 4th grade. That's something I shouldn't have been listening to, but Eminem, Lil Wayne, I loved back in 4th grade. But I love that song. I think I heard it and it was like, it seems kind of like a weird vibe, like because it's like kind of poppy in a way.
Well, the
Like it
vibe,
kind of
honestly, the vibe is very reminiscent of the early
it is.
2000s
I
when Slim
think that
Shady was around. Like Toby was saying, the Slim Shady album. It's very reminiscent of
I
that
agree.
same sound.
I guess it's just like I guess like from what it is going back a ways. I guess is the what I'm getting at. Like it doesn't sound like what he's been sounding like lately, and it kind of threw me off. But then I was like, man, this is fucking badass. Um, but I listened all of it in one go, and then obviously went back. But um, even like there's like skits in here and stuff, and even those are pretty fucking badass.
And they tell the story. That's what the skits are
Yeah.
there for. They tell the story. They further the story. They further the plot. And they're very. It's like the old song "Stan." When you had the spoken parts of Stan, they were kind of skits within the song to serve the same purpose of telling the story from a different
Yeah.
artistic outlet, so to speak. The second single from the record was called "Toby," and it's named after Toby Maguire. It pays homage to the American actor, who, of
That's what
course,
they want you to think.
right? I know you think it's about you. But anyway, this also includes fellow Detroit rappers Big Sean and Baby Tron, who are heavily featured in this video in song,
Yep.
and they were also featured in Doomsday Part 2, which is kind of, you know, that's where they were kind of introduced to the Eminem world, so to speak. Um, I feel like number one, it's very, very risky to put yourself into a song with Eminem, especially when M is only going to have one verse in the song. Because
Yep. That's what I was thinking. I was like,
yeah.
I thought it to be kind of weird that it was released as a single, like hyping up an album, and Eminem is like a third of the song.
Mm-hmm. And
But
he
I found that a little weird.
and he was
But
less than a third of this song, less than a third.
yeah,
So he really
yeah,
lets the other two guys shine. My favorite
I think
line
that's
in
badass.
I do too. I love it. I think my favorite line in the song is that Eminem wasn't bit by a spider; he was bit by a goat. And
Oh,
yeah, definitely agree with that. Now, as usual, Eminem comes in third, like I said, with the third verse, and immediately shows his excellence. And when I listen to songs where he's collaborating with other rappers, almost always I enjoy the first couple of rappers, or the first rapper, the first two rappers, but then Eminem just makes them look and sound so minor league every single time that I can't understand why these rappers still go on to these records with him, knowing that. I imagine it's because it is a huge honor, et cetera, et cetera. Now, he addresses in this song how others could possibly not think of him as the greatest ever. In this song, he is definitely showing his ego in spades, I feel. And he definitely shows his annoyance at the people who don't give him his proper flowers in his opinion. And then he throws out a warning that everybody in the rap world should already know, and that is, do not challenge me.
yeah. I
Toby.
mean, Eminem has always been a big badass.
Yeah.
Like since day one, he's always been like that. And I think that's so cool. Cause like everyone, like you can try to cancel Eminem, but like you should have canceled his ass a long time ago if you're gonna
And
do it.
the video
Like,
is completely different than the first video as well, which I also like. I don't like when videos from the same record kind of follow the
yeah,
same vein, and so the mixture in that was really well done as well. Toby,
yeah.
what do you got on Toby?
So, I think my favorite verse, and I'm partial, but is probably Eminem's.
Of course.
Some of the lyrics to this song, let me find them here. Um, so, um, he says, "Ain't feeling your top 5 rappers, so I know they about to be pissed at me. But this to me is a mystery. Higher up, how rappers I've already ripped could be higher up on a list than me. Yet here I sit on your list though at 5, which still was fine, but just know inside, to me that shit's hilarious. So when I get dissed, though, and by a pioneer who was one of the reasons why I am here, They tell me I should just let that shit go and slide. Melly Mel shouldn't get no reply. Why? That man is a legend, and he says, "Bitch, so am I."
Mm-hmm.
So Eminem's really on his shit. He's
Yeah.
saying, "I am the goat. I am the reason why you're all under me." And
Mm-hmm.
there's no, and anybody who um tries to say, "Oh, well, Lil Wayne's better, Kendrick is better," you don't know what you're talking about.
Because I mean, I love Lil Wayne, and you know they've done a couple songs together. I got introduced to both at the same time, and I love Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne's his thing. I mean, you can't really replace him, but Eminem, come on now, like,
Eminem is the reason why he's here, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That and his underground, Lil Wayne's underground stuff was good, but it's like, Eminem put him on No Love, and you
yeah,
think, oh, there's no way M can top Wayne's verse, and then M blows him right out of the fucking water.
It's the same thing, and that's what I was referring to with the third verse in this song. Why would anybody of any ilk or caliber put themselves into that position, knowing that every single time Eminem blows them out of the water? Like, if he's
yeah.
throwing Little Wayne like that, who's gonna touch him? I mean, who?
Yeah.
You know? So that's for
I don't
me.
understand why he gets so much shit either. Besides, because he gets shit. Besides, like, I mean, lyrics are one thing, but like he gets so much shit. Period. Everyone talks shit about Eminem. Why?
Well,
Well,
some of the lyrics to one of his songs is he talks about how people say that he doesn't get played in the clubs, and his response to that is the only reason why you're played in the club is because you're still playing in them.
yep.
So I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
the man
let's get
wipes his ass with platinum albums.
let's get to the third single, and man, this single means a lot to me for a couple of reasons. And it's, again, we all know, if you're a fan of Eminem's, we all know his struggle with addiction. It's been well documented, not only in the media but also from Eminem himself in his lyrics over forever. For example, A Rose, if you guys remember A Rose from Revival, where he addresses his addiction, his drug addiction, and especially the impact that it's had on his loved ones. This song is very similar to that. Number one, I love the fact that Jelly Roll is in this on this song. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Jellies, but also I love seeing that. I love seeing big stars like Jelly Roll absolutely fangirl on social media that their song has been chosen by M. And there's very few artists out there that can do that to any other artist on the planet of any ilk or caliber, and that's Eminem. Taylor Swift would be another one. There's some
Yeah.
others that are coming up too, that are pretty close to the same caliber. But if you're on Eminem's album, you have made it into a stratosphere that very few other people are going to make.
Yeah.
But this song is called "Somebody Save Me." It's the latest single from the album. Obviously, it has the melody from "Save Me" from Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll sings the chorus on the record as well. But the reason why this song is so badass is because of subject matter and
Yeah.
relevancy, and the fact that it can resonate with people of all walks of life, whether they're in have addictions or not. Basically, the concept behind this particular song is, it is well documented that he OD'd, I think, in 2008 or 2007. Back in those days, he OD'd. And he's talking about all of the things he would have missed had he not survived that overdose. And so he's literally telling all the things, and he's talking to his daughter and his niece and other people that are important to him, and the events that he got to witness since that OD, that he got to see, that he wouldn't have saw if he did die. I love the idea behind that, because, again, one of the things that falls short for me in the genre is subject matter, and
Yeah.
and a song actually connecting to me in my life, when it's about, criminals and gang banging and shootouts, and and all of that doesn't resonate with me that much, but this does.
I I heard this and I just talking about it, I think it's a fucking badass song. I don't think you can show that to anybody, then they're gonna be like, eh. I mean,
Mhm.
maybe if they don't like the subject matter, but I mean, the lyrics themselves are just fucking badass. And Jelly Roll, I think he's badass. He's just not really my thing. But I think together that this song is pretty awesome, and I definitely think it's gonna go down like not in history, but it's got potential for that. I mean, not just that, like Jelly Roll's song alone is huge, and then now with Eminem on it, like that's gonna be huge, huge, huge.
Hmm. Yep.
But I think it's a great song,
I love
and
it. I love it.
like you said, we're missing a lot of like everything just sounds the same these days, and to hear something that's this whole album, just to hear something that's different and different subjects, different meanings, all that kind of stuff. It's pretty. I don't know. It makes me feel like music might be going in an okay direction again.
The inner battle, right? I love the inner battle, self reflection, self deprecation, all of that in this record. Toby, what do you have for Somebody Save Me?
I think it's great. I think it was well done. I think it's in an album that you wouldn't expect it to be in
Very good point.
because every other song is just so different. I mean, and then you get into this and you're not expecting to cry during an album, but you hear this and you tear up.
Hmm.
Even if you're not a parent or haven't gone through those struggles, you feel bad knowing that this person who's brought you so much joy in music, knowing the struggles that they went through and dealt with, um, and almost died from, and what they would have said, what they felt like they would have missed. It's
Mhm.
crazy to me. It honestly, I think it was well placed. It's in a
Mhm.
weird spot in the album.
I agree. Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
it's the last song. Um, I think I think it's odd to end an album out that way, which is also why I think there's a side B coming. I definitely think there is a side B
Yeah,
to
it
this album
seems like
because
a
we don't have
segue
it.
song, doesn't it? It does.
Yeah, and there's no. You didn't get any Logic. You didn't get any Joyner Lucas. You didn't get any other names. Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, all these people, and 50 Cent, who has also said he's on the album, but he's clearly not on this album,
Mhm.
which means there's a
Right.
side B, like Music to Be Murdered By. There was a side A and a side B. I feel like there's a side B to this album.
I mean, that all adds up. That all maths. That math is mathing.
You know,
It definitely does math.
it's funny that you say that, Toby, because Katie and I have done 6 or 7 or album reviews now, and the Taylor Swift album, as big as it was, felt like it needed more. The Billie Eilish album we did was so short that it obviously needed more. It seems like a lot of these artists may be going down that road to almost throw that cliffhanger hook into the last track on an album. And
I mean,
even if it doesn't bear fruit, it gets people talking about whether or not fruit is coming.
Not
You know,
I feel like this album by itself, do I think it needs more in terms of content? No, you're getting
I
a
agree.
19 song album.
19.
You're
Okay.
getting something that has replayability. Something
and
that a
it's
lot of people,
not. There's not really any songs lacking either, like
right,
at all,
but I
that
think
you
what people
see in a lot of
want
other shit.
I think what people want is these more notable artists. Not to say that the artists that are on this one aren't notable, but I think we're thinking of somebody like 50 Cent who has already said that he's on the album, and he's clearly not on this album
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
yet. But you've got people like Joyner Lucas, who he mentions in this album, Kendrick Lamar, who he also mentions in this album. You've got all these people that are being mentioned but aren't on the album that have been on his other albums, like Kamikaze. You've got Logic and Joyner that were on that one. You also have Joyner, who I believe is on Music to Be Murdered By on one of the sides. I'm not entirely sure on that, so don't quote me. But this doesn't need more, but I want more.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Leaves
I
you
feel like
wanting more.
Yeah.
this. I sat. I'm a bad person of like skim reading and oh that looks cool. Let me do that. No. So I first track and I stopped maybe 5 times throughout the entire thing. Like I listened to it like
Same.
and I think the setup that the last one might feel a little weird, man, but I think it brings it back home. Like here's all this shit going on, and there's talk of like in a few different songs about the drug abuse and like all that other shit, and then it's like, okay, we did all that tomfoolery shit, and now let's bring it around back home and let's show you something meaningful before we head out. But also, like you said, it would be a good segue song. I didn't know about any of that stuff, but that's just how I
Well,
felt
see,
about
for
it.
me, it felt like, hey, I finally killed Slim Shady, so let's talk about me again. That's what the song felt
That
like
it
to
felt
me.
like it felt like we brought it back home to
Yep.
me. It was like the feeling that it gave.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and an interesting fact about this album is you don't know which way it's supposed to be
Interpreted.
listened to.
Yeah.
No, you don't know which way you're supposed to listen to it. Are you supposed to listen back to front or front to back? Because if you listen back to front, it's Slim Shady. Or no, it's Marshall who kills Slim Shady. If you listen front to back, it's Slim Shady who kills Marshall. And
That's true.
Somebody Save Me is his death note to his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially
Interesting.
talking about what he's going to miss. I feel like
That's how I took it.
that just goes to show how just insanely smart Eminem is, how relevant he still is. And anybody who hates on him saying that he's old and not relevant, don't talk to me about music.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because this man has more platinum albums recently than they have ever had in their entire life.
So let's talk about our favorite two non-single songs. So obviously, I think all three of us are in agreement that we pretty much like all three of the singles. So let's talk about the songs on the album that have not been released as singles as of this recording. I think possibly one of the ones I'm going to talk about will probably be released as a single, and I almost guarantee Toby's going to name this song as well. So I'm going to start with the other one that I don't think Toby will name. And this might surprise Toby a little bit about me liking it. I'm going to talk about the 9th track on the album, which is a song called Fuel. And Fuel has introduced me to a rapper that I did not know of, and his name is JID. He is from East Atlanta. I really enjoyed his verse, and I'll keep it real. I was like, wow. And apparently this kid is actually signed to Eminem's record label, which in itself is smart marketing, right? Like, let's get somebody that I should be marketing onto my songs. Now, this song is a high-octane collaboration between the two rappers, Eminem and JID, and it serves as an assertion, kind of their dominance in the rap game, and kind of their refusal to be silenced as well.
I forgot about that one, so I'm looking at a list of the songs, but it doesn't say like who's featured on what or anything. I did like that one because I remember thinking, "Who is that?"
Mm-hmm.
And he did pretty badass because like there's a few features on here that, like you said, like fall flat and short to Eminem, but that one felt a little bit more.
Well, I liked his verse because he's kind of talking about the struggles that he had growing up on the streets of Atlanta, and the violence and all of that shit that he's going through, and he's not talking about it from a perspective of, I'm a gangbanger, I'm a badass. No, he's essentially talking about, I survived that, I went through that, all of that in that verse. And then Eminem kind of follows with a verse that, again, very typical of Eminem. He's taunting his critics and his doubters, and he's throwing in contemporary references to different events that we've all experienced, like Kyle Rittenhouse and the Alec Baldwin case, and the fact or not that Diddy may or may not have something to do with the Tupac case. And we clearly hear Eminem's opinion on that matter in this song.
Yep.
So it's a very interesting mix of two different rappers that kind of come from different generations, but the song really comes together well, almost in spite of that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he accuses P Diddy of two things.
Yes,
one of which
he
he's
does.
been convicted for.
Right. Yep.
Basically,
that's the Cassie thing, right?
He says, "I'm like a RAPER. Yeah, I got so many SAs. Wait, he didn't just spell the word rapper and leave out a P, did he?"
Yep. Yep.
So
I
he's
know.
calling him. Not only is he saying, then he says, "Rest in peace, Biggie." So not only is he mentioning that P Diddy is a rapist, pretty sure he's been convicted of that. Not entirely sure, but he's also saying that he may or may not, by mentioning Biggie, they may or may not have had something to do with it. And he does this a lot. Eminem is just, and can we talk about he goes on with a list of C's that rhyme. Like at the end of the song, like he's got the most content on the continent, and constant compliments give me the confidence. A cross of common sense and incompetence. I'm cognizant that conflicts are consequence of accomplishments accomplished through competition. Can we just talk about how brilliant that is?
Mm-hmm.
For real. And that kind of shit's in every fucking song.
So,
right.
Yeah, what he just said right there was, all the C sounds and the rhyming schemes that you just said, that's what drew me to this song. Those lyrics were insane. One of the best rhyming schemes I've ever heard in my life. Like, when you listen to Eminem go through that path of however he gets to where he's going, as a listener, you're just in utter awe. And there's not too many artists on the planet that can do that to you, of any genre.
And not just that, he keeps you like, you're always not on the edge of your seat, but like you're waiting for what's happening next. Because it's a lot of it's like a continuation.
Yeah.
Like, not that it's like a run-on sentence, but like a lot of it is. And you're always like, what's the next?
All the C sounds. It's just amazing, man. And it makes sense, too. They're not just put in there randomly, right? Like, it actually makes sense. I love it so much. It's like just looking at the words content, continent, constant, compliments, confidence, cross, common, incompetence, cognizant, conflicts, consequence, competition, conquered, conctum, unconsciousness, conscious, kamikaze, concocting. Like, I'm not even doing all the words in between. Those are just the alliterative words that he's using in the rhyming schemes. And just taking out the in-between words, the shit sounds fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But
Absolutely.
That's fuel. What's your first favorite non-single song, Miss Kadie?
Man, so this is when I decided, no, we're going to stop and listen to it from the beginning. But obviously my eyes floated to Antichrist. And I fucking love it. I love it. I can relate. Shit, but I mean, it's just like the whole premise I love, and he's such the person to be making this statement. You know, like we had Marilyn Manson, like the Antichrist shit that he pulled, but this is like hands down. Like, this is just badass. I love, and all the lyrics and just oh my god, there's a lot of shit in here. There's a lot of shit in here that's very like, whew, a lot. Like, what? Literally the first few lines, Gen Z, here they come now, about to unload rounds, pronouns got me like, whoa now.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there's a lot.
From the perspective of Slim Shady as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and look, this is like, I mean, Slim Shady's been Slim Shady forever. You know what I mean? So, like, this isn't new. People that are tweaking out about it ain't new, sweetheart. It's just new release.
And anybody who thinks, and I'm gonna throw this out there, anybody that thinks that Eminem is homophobic or transphobic, he's not.
He's not at all.
You know who one of his best friends is and who got him through his drug abuse? Elton fucking John.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You know what Slim Shady got Elton John for his wedding present?
I don't know.
It's 18 plus. I'm gonna just put it. It's diamond encrusted, and it goes on an area in which I won't mention.
Okay.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yep.
I heard about that.
It's the man. Look, and I know you can't judge somebody based off of what they buy for somebody who is homosexual, but I promise you, Elton John of all people would not be close friends with Eminem if he was.
Well, again, I think I think the concept of the record is for Slim Shady to show people how they sound. and then for Eminem to come in, and he's almost setting himself up as the hero by removing Slim Shady from the planet, right? And Bizarre is on this song too, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
No, he's not.
I'm pretty sure this is Antichrist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Bizarre is on this on that record. Yeah, on that.
It doesn't show
song.
him as a artist on the song.
It doesn't show, but I'm on Google, and I know there was one song that had somebody else on it. It wasn't mentioned.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Bizarre does the outro and the intro to the first part, the outro to the first part, the intro to the second part.
Oh, okay.
Maybe, yeah. No, he does on Antichrist. He does the last part.
Yep. Yeah, and so Bizarre is pretty well known for delivering vulgar lyrics and things like that, disturbing verses. Anyway, Toby, what's your first favorite non-single?
My favorite non-single is Brand New Dance.
Nice.
I think
I like that one.
It's what, the old people call funky. It's just very it does things to you. It makes you want to, as the song says, it makes you want to clap your hands and stomp your feet. I mean, and he makes fun of,
Christopher Reeve. That line you just said is a direct diss.
I know.
For Christopher Reeves.
I can't remember his name, but Christopher Reeves, yeah. He's making fun of Christopher Reeves. And I think they're friends. Actually, is Christopher Reeves still with us, or did he pass away?
No, and basically what happened was there was a song, I forget what it was. Oh Lord. There was a song that he put together that was called Christopher Reeves. I want to say it was supposed to go on the Encore record, and they removed it because Christopher Reeves had passed away right before that. So Eminem removed it from the track list back then, 2004. I want to say that's true.
If I'm not afraid of being controversial, even Eminem recognized when something was too soon.
Yes. Yeah. And so, he did take the song, and from what I understand, the song is not available anywhere. But here is a chance for him to poke fun at Christopher Reeve 20 years later, right?
Maybe it's on the B-side.
I don't know, maybe. But Christopher Reeve, I was a huge fan of Christopher Reeves when I was a kid, and I did not take offense to this at all. I mean, in fact, it was funny. I mean, hell, I've told a joke about Christopher Reeves my entire life.
You've got Ricky Berwick, who, by the way, is an absolute nut.
Fucking love Ricky Berwick, bro. Come on.
Every time I see his video, I'm just like, Ricky, you can't do that. Ricky.
Yo, but guys, it's just back to Dr. Disrespect. Just real quick, just go to the interwebs and type in Ricky Berwick, Dr. Disrespect. You're fucking welcome. Have fun with that.
Yeah, and you've also got the fact that he is actively making fun of himself with the Eminem record. And if Ricky Berwick's okay with it, I don't think there's a damn problem with the album.
Yeah.
He's literally bringing out haters, and he did exactly what he planned to do. And they listened to it, and guess what they did? They got him way closer to another platinum album. They're talking all this trash, but yet they're making him more successful.
Yep.
He literally played them.
Yep.
You literally played yourself.
And this song, Brand New Dance, is literally a dance that he's making up in honor of Christopher Reeve. You might say it's in mockery of Christopher Reeve, but it's literally it's a song that's mocking Christopher Reeve, but like it's a dance, and he's essentially calling the dance the Christopher Reeve. It's fucking it's great.
Now, one thing I did not expect is for yours to be Fuel. I didn't expect that at all.
Well, Fuel is my
when you said
Fuel is my second favorite.
You said I wasn't gonna expect it. My eyes, because I have the list of the songs here. My eyes immediately wandered to Fuel, because it is something I would not expect you to like, and you liked it. So you know. I mean, I come from listening in the van that we used to have with an iPod, listening to the song Superman, which is like, you want to talk about talking bad about women?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Holy crap. If they think this album is bad,
Yeah,
oof, you ain't ready for any of his other stuff.
that's true.
Because Superman is literally talking about leaving a woman on a runway.
Yep.
Like,
Let's
huh?
stay in the now though. We're gonna go to my favorite non-single is Guilty Conscience 2. And for the very reasons why I liked Houdini, except this song captures that even better than Houdini, in my opinion. And that's why I think this song also has to be a single at some point. And it's literally two rappers on the song who is the same rapper. Like, holy shit, what an idea, bro. Like, what an idea. It's literally him and him arguing with each other and threatening each other. And, you know, it's essentially like a boss battle. If you're into gaming and shit like that, that's what this is. It's literally a boss battle. One's threatening the other one's threatening the other one, and one is attacking a certain brand of people, and the other one is defending that brand of people and attacking another brand of people. It's so well thought out, and whether you're offended by one side or the other, you have to recognize that. There are things in this song that everybody can get behind, and there are things in this song that everybody is going to be pissed off about, and that's what makes it great, in my opinion. What do you guys have on? Yeah, this is such a great concept.
Well, this song, I mean, again, the wordplay, right?
Yep.
So you've got used to read comic books to learn more words because deep down I'm a dork, just a core nerd, meaning nerd to the core till I'm cornered. Then I'm the corner.
Yep.
What shot is this? First, second, it's your third. Somehow he's rhymed a third with corner.
Yep.
Don't ask me how.
So when I listen to new music, this is something I don't know if other people do this out there. I always put the closed captioning on, just because I want to know what words are being said. Because for me, when I'm reading along with the lyrics, for me, I understand them better. And this is for all genres. It's not just for this. But if you turn the closed captioning on for this song, it's so great. Because it's Slim Shady, Eminem, Slim Shady, Like, the closed captioning is actually treating each line like it's a different person. Because it essentially is. So the whole song, I'm literally laughing and cackling because of the closed captioning. It's freaking amazing. So, Katie, what is your second or first favorite non-single?
So I really liked this one, but it's not one of the skits, but it's only like a minute long. And I just like it because I heard it and I just busted the hell out. I just lost it. And that would be Trouble.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lost it. As soon as he said, fuck blind people, I lost it. It says, F blind people and deaf people suck, so do cripples, dumb quadriplegic Fs. And this and then it goes along with the story too. And I was listening to the rest, but I heard this, but like the first start of it, it's like shady to Marshall, like same shit. It's all right here, drink this. What is it? Shut up and drink it. And then I said drink it, bitch. And then it says, what the F are you trying to do? Get us canceled? And then here he comes. F blind people.
I think my favorite line of this, and it's so pertinent to the entire album, is, oh, here comes Marshall to try to clean this up.
Yeah.
And then Marshall says, shut up. And
also,
that line just describes the whole record in one line. Just the dynamic between the two of them. Mm-hmm. You know?
I also another Christopher Reeves thing in here.
Then the whole, the big bad wapper got his feelings hurt.
Feelings hurt. Yeah. So there's that one, but I also really like Shit, where'd it go? I already forgot the name of it. Habits. I really like Habits a lot.
Mm-hmm. And that's got
Like
white
that.
gold in it too, right? I
Mhm.
believe, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Toby, what is
That
your
one has,
next favorite non-single?
See, this is tough because I really like all of them,
Mm-hmm.
but I think mine's got to be Road Rage. I
Wow.
think it.
I almost picked that one.
Wow. Okay.
I think it. You know, it's just really well thought out in my opinion. It's really well thought out, and it's really making fun of people. Slim Shady is making fun of obese people. He's making fun of a certain group of people, and Marshall is again uh, not really in the song. He's not really defending anything in this song. He's just kind of not there. It's just all Slim Shady talking about how he feels, like it's 2003 or
Yeah.
2004, when this would have flown pretty well with the majority. Now, not so much.
Yeah.
He got a lot of people's panties up in a bunch with this because they don't realize he's not being serious.
Yeah, and I think that's the concept too, right? Is to try to bring his old alter ego back, who was saying things back then that weren't deemed quite as offensive because we were allowed to say things without people getting so butthurt about everything. And so Eminem brings this character back who's doing the same thing, saying the same things he said then, but saying them now. And now people are just fucking losing it, right? It's so well thought out, and again, setting up his own villain so he can come in and be the hero is essentially the idea behind the entire record. You know,
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing that
I
this man didn't end up in Hollywood.
right? Based on this idea, absolutely.
Mhm.
You know, and critically speaking, there's a lot of critics out there that are throwing this whole record under the bus. That the same critics loved his early 2000s shit that was doing the same thing. Was doing the same thing.
Yeah. People are
But
stupid as
I
fuck.
think it's more of an age thing, right? Like it's got to be because like I don't know, being young and stupid versus old and wise or what or middle-aged and wise cuz goddamn it Eminem is not old yet. Okay? So, let's rate this entire record on a scale of 1 to 10. I am going to give it probably a 9.5. Katie?
I was gonna. I didn't know whether to choose 9 or 10, so I'll sit right there at 9.5 with you.
And Toby?
I'm gonna give it a 10. I think it's really well done. I think it was produced well. None of the songs got leaked because, fun fact, Eminem mails all of his
Yep.
pre-releases in a box with random shit in it to Paul. It's pretty funny, but it's worked. He's very something he says in an interview is that he's very worried about leaks because he doesn't want the album to be ruined because he said there's a certain plan, a certain way everything has to roll out, and if one thing rolls out before the other, it's all screwed up and it's
There's a
not going to work
timing
right.
thing. There is a timing to things for sure. And
Yeah.
and the good artists understand that. Katie and I reviewed the Taylor Swift album that was very reminiscent of what you just said. She literally announced and released the record at 3 o'clock in the morning at the same time. Nobody knew she was working on music. Nobody knew there was a release coming, and it was just there. Two album, a two part or two CD
Yep.
record, just there out of thin air. That's when you know your team around you understands the concept and
Yeah.
understands the importance of secrecy. Um,
Plus, I need a side B to this album just so I can see if Taylor Swift's on it.
I would love that. Or shit, Billie Eilish. I know you don't like her, Toby, but I would
I'd be more
love that.
down with Billy than Taylor.
I think either one would work, but I would just love to see Taylor and Marshall working together just to see what they come
Forget
up
who
Yeah,
it
with.
was.
I agree. I just don't know if that would work. I feel like Billy could work.
I think it was 50 Cent. Taylor Swift has appeared on a rap album before, in a
Oh,
rap video.
I'm sure.
I think it was 50 Cent, and it was when she was much younger, much newer to the scene. And she came out and spit a bar. Obviously, that was written for her.
Well, she
But
did have the song "Thug Story" that featured T-Pain. I don't know if that's what you're referring to.
that might have been it.
Yeah. She also has. Let's see here. She's also collabed with Kendrick Lamar in the past on a song called "Bad Blood." Phoebe Bridgers on "Nothing New" and Ice Spice, a song called "Karma." So she's got a history with rap and hip hop.
I hate Bad Blood, just as you mentioned that, but go ahead.
Yeah.
You just brought that horrid song back in my brain.
My sisters
I
were
love
obsessed with that
it.
song. Yeah. We
Yeah.
listened to that probably on repeat going to Louisiana with my mom. And I told my sisters, if you guys play that on the way back, I will walk home. Because I couldn't stand that album, much less that song.
Well, don't ever
I just remember.
let Toby be a navigator either, because we almost walked home the last time we went to
No,
Louisiana.
we didn't. We just
But
took the
anyway,
scenic route.